This video provides an overview of sample pack creation using the Instruments India Sound Archive and its content of over 5 hours of sound. The video will introduce you to the world of sample packs, what these are and who might use these in the future. Before we do this, let's go back to the beginning of this story to show you how the Instruments India Sound Archive came to be. In collaboration with MILAP, 28 Indian musical instruments were recorded in 2013. These recordings captured short sound bites, phrases, and ideas. In the recording sessions, each musician provided a tour around their instrument. Sound material was captured to feature on the Instruments India website and also gathered for an AHRC-funded research project investigating the presence of Indian musical instruments in electronic music. My work with the musicians was a fantastic experience to get closer to these beautiful sound sources and understand more about the history, playing techniques and context of the musicians and their instruments. These sounds now appear on MILAP's Instruments India website, where you can hear, see and interact with all 28 different instruments. This online resource functions as an educational resource for young learners, interested laypeople and concert goers who want to find out more about instruments they may see at a MILAP concert. We are now looking at new ways to enhance and extend the access of the Instruments India archive so that more people can engage, learn and interact with the sounds. We have witnessed the great benefits of the Instruments India projects and how school children all the way to professional composers have all been inspired and educated as a result of their engagement with the archive. In this new phase of our collaboration, we hope to widen access to these Indian musical instrument sounds so that producers, school groups, DIY bedroom composers, hobbyists and professional creators who make up the global sample pack community can use, benefit and learn from this resource. To get to this stage, we have a research team dedicated to working with the contributing artists to reflect their wishes and preferences for the new sample pack release. So let's take some time now to look at sample packs and see how these work.
A sample pack is a collection of audio loops. It can be of presets, audio one-shots like drum hits and things like that. Just basically a big collection of sounds that have been edited down, so they are, say, at 120 beats per minute, 140. All depends on the genre really, and that also dictates what type of sounds are in there, whether it's more synthesized types of sounds or it's more natural recordings, depending on the genre. So you could have like an EDM style sample pack, or you could have a hip hop one, and the tones will change quite a bit, but generally in terms of the sample packs, they're roughly the same type of size. Normally the sample packs I create are around 400 loops in total, 250 actual audio loops that you can loop seamlessly over and over, and 150 one-shots like kick drums, snares, synths and things like that. And they're really used for music production, so when you're creating a track you can use them for inspiration. Just drop them into a drum rack like in Ableton, drop them into any kind of drum machine and just try and get some creativity going, some type of idea going, without spending too long manipulating your sounds. So the people that use sample packs are producers, I guess, songwriters as well. I find they're used best when, let's say, you're about to start writing a song and you can't really think of an idea, you're kind of struggling maybe to find some inspiration. I think it's really good just to try out a few different sounds. You may just come up with some interesting drum beat or some interesting drum beats, or like an interesting instrument loop, music loop, or just kind of find a nice preset on a synth, and it can really just begin the start of a track. But it's also good, I feel, if you have already found an idea. Let's say you play an instrument, you've just been noodling around, you find something, kind of, I guess you'd say, translating that idea into your project very fast and efficiently. You could find some kind of interesting piano loop and then think, I need to add some drums. You could spend ages looking through like the Ableton sounds or any kind of sounds like that, or you could just look in a sample pack and kind of quickly find some nice produced, like well mixed sounds and drop them in, and then you're off. You don't have to mess around EQing them, compressing them to get them sounding nice. They're already kind of ready and made. And then maybe further down the line you could go and change your sounds however you want, but I really find they work well in having fast effective ways of making music, essentially.
Part of our work involves looking at existing sample packs to see how cultural sound materials are represented, distributed and hosted on available online platforms. We want to see what the music industry is doing to represent culturally diverse sound and how we as a research team can better this landscape for musicians and those being represented.
This is an example of an existing sample pack which is up on the Splice platform. It is of a sitar performed by Arbik Mukherjee. And in the context of our project, this is an example of a good sample pack, as it refers back to the musician that is playing the samples, as usually it is the sample pack producer that gets all of the credit. And as you can see here, there is also a link to a video which features Arbik talking about the sitar and his life as a performer. And just to show you the format of a sample pack, as you can see here, there are 191 samples in this pack, which range from around 1 second to 30 seconds, and these are organised into loops and one-shots. So a loop is a short musical phrase or rhythmic phrase which can be repeated over and over again to form a layer in the track or a basis of a track. So I'll just play you an example here. Yeah, so this would be repeated over and over again, and perhaps underneath that you could add some drums and maybe some vocals over the top. And then I'll show you some one-shots as well. One-shots are shorter fragments of sound, more articulated hits such as like a clap or a stab on the piano, or in the context of a sitar, a pluck of a string, as you can hear here. So as a producer, you can sift through these recordings and listen to them, preview them, and when you hear one that you would like to use, you would download them and then you can use them in your own musical works. And you can also sift through these by specifying the BPM you would want the sample to be in, the key, the instrumentation, and also the genre of the sample.
When creating sample packs from the Instruments India Sound Archive, our starting point has been talking to the musicians who contributed their sounds to this resource back in 2013. These meetings are helping to shape our decisions on sample pack curation, representation, and how musicians can be best credited in this process. Here's a little peek into how the Instruments India samples can be used in two very different production contexts, here demonstrated by Johnny Batchelor, the project's senior audio technician.